Summer has arrived! Well, at least for a week. A week it's arrived. That happened last year. I remember this last year here. I remember summer came around this time last year for a week, and then that was it. That was it. We were straight back into the autumn. And I suspect that might be what's happening now. But as always, the unusual climatic event of a sun irradiating heat was greeted by locals in a traditional fashion, with them, with wanton abandon, stripping off all clothing to the waist while walking down the streets. Nay, exposing skin that is so white, skin that has never seen sunlight for decades. This skin is so white, car drivers need to put sunglasses on to block the glare. Because the reality is, for 51 weeks of the year, in our wee part of the world, there is no direct correlation between sun and heat. Now, it sounds counterintuitive, but we have cold sunshine. Yes, it's best demonstrated by the many tourists who fall foul of this conundrum, right? You can see them, you know, they'll waken up in their hotel rooms of a morning and they pull their curtains back and there they see the glaring sun. And in their innocence, they presume to their cost that this corresponds with warmth. Tragically, they dress accordingly, sauntering out in t-shirts and shorts and set off on their day's sightseeing, only to run back into the hotel to change into thermals, having suffered the first signs of hypothermia just a matter of yards from the front of their hotels. At least there's an excuse for tourists. Do you know this, right? There's an excuse for tourists due to their ignorance of our climate. What's always baffled me is the insane behaviour of locals who should know better when faced with a hot sun. You see, we have not evolved, especially me, we have not evolved to survive the sun's deadly rays. You know what I mean? Beneath this grey beard here lurks the heart of a ginger. All my life, I was a ginger. And being a ginger, I know the sun is not my friend. Believe it or not, I am one of the few gingers still alive who predates sunblock. Oh yeah, as a child, I would be thrown out into the deadly rays to play outside. That's when children used to play outside. We're forced outside. We're thrown out in the morning, out into the deadly rays of the sun. And I would return home in the afternoon with my sunburned skin falling off me in sheets. Now, the cure for this, of course, was back in the day, your mother would grab you and she'd lather you down in a coat of a concoction called chamomile lotion. Now, this was very unusual stuff. It had the unusual property of being liquid, right, when it was rubbed on. But upon contact with burned skin, it immediately turned into a cement-like substance that would crack and stick into your already inflamed skin. How I managed to survive to this age is a mystery. What isn't a mystery is that as soon as I reached an age of reason where I could buy sunblock for myself, I was asking for the strongest available. Like, I remember the first time I went into the chemist's, I remember asking, he showed me a factor 50. And I said, Mister, is that the strongest you have? To which he replied, well, son, you could always try an anorak. Funny wee man. He's a funny, chemists were funny back in the day. But he had a point. Gingers don't get suntans. The best we get is our melanomas join up. Nay, if that shocked you, good. It was intended to. As I am a patron of Cancer Focus NI, and each year, each summer, I try to remind people here that while a suntan lasts a few weeks, skin cancer lasts a lifetime. So I don't want to impinge on your fun, right? Enjoy the weather, but please wear a hat and put on sunblock, because doing so, you'll see another summer. Finally. Talking to my Cancer Focus NI, why not join me for Cancer Focus Waggy Woodland Walk, where dog-related products will be on sale, and I will be judging, would you believe, a doggy beauty contest. Now, of course, all us doggy owners know there's no such thing as an ugly dog. They're all beautiful. So there will be loads of different prizes for dogs and their unique characteristics. All proceeds will be going to Cancer Focus NI and to support their outstanding work in helping patients in Northern Ireland undergoing treatment.